What's going on, everyone? So I made a video diving into the San Antonio Spurs and kind of like how they're going to have to make some tough decisions. And like I said in that video, they don't necessarily need to do it right now. I'm not saying they have to do it today. You can stay patient, kind of find the consolidation trade, find the move that makes sense, right? Find that opportunistic trade. Like De'Aaron Fox was the opportunistic trade. But at some point, they are going to have to make decisions. Right, you have De'Aaron Fox, Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle, and then Devin Vassell, and then you have Keldon Johnson. At some point, you're not going to be able to have all of those guys because one, guys are going to start getting expensive. You're already looking at the Thunder. Dude, the Thunder are going to pay their three main guys almost $1 billion over the next 5 years. Right, like that's insane. That's going to be the Spurs in a couple years. Right, and you look at kind of the Spurs in the situation they're in. They have too many guards, right? Again, at some point, Dylan Harper's going to want to be the guy. He's going to want to have the ball in his hands and be the guy, right? At some point, Stephon Castle is going to want to be the starter and operate as the 2 or the 3 guard, whatever, right? You're not going to be able to run De'Aaron Fox, Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell, and Victor Wembanyama for 30 minutes a night. You're not. You're too small. Like, even if all guys are good, you're going to be terrible defense. You're not going to achieve anything. We've seen teams try to do that, and it doesn't work. Right? You still need to have balance. As much as positionless basketball as there is today, you still need a point guard, you still need a center, and you still need size and defensive versatility out on the perimeter. Right? That's why teams don't run 5 guards. I mean, even guys like the Thunder who have an abundance of guards, they still have multiple 6'6" guys that they're operating. It's kind of just like their point guard and shooting guard position where they just kind of alter and filter and alternate stuff, right? And all those guys, none of those guys are to the talent level that the Spurs guys are, right? Like all the Spurs guys have star potential. A lot of these guys, they're just like Lou Dort isn't going to be a superstar. Lou Dort is that assignment guy, that two-way, just hard-nosed defensive players, right? So it's a very different situation, period. But to me, when I look at the potential of trades, I want a consolidation trade, right? So to me, can you turn Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell, right? They're going to have to make a decision on Jeremy Sohan. I know a lot of Spurs fans don't want to get rid of Jeremy Sohan, but at some point, he's going to get paid, right? And is he worth getting paid for, especially for a guy that can't shoot? Now, maybe if he takes some strides, we'll see, right? I'm not saying that, but, you kind of look at this roster, and it's there are no, glaring needs. It's just you need guys to kind of elevate, right? You need guys to kind of pick it up, right? That's basically the big issue, right? What does Wemby look like in year 3, year 4? Right? What does Castle look like in year 2, year 3? Dylan Harper, year 1, year 2, so on and so forth. Right? Depending how fast they grow and develop is the quicker that you'll be able to be, one of the top teams in all of basketball and potentially hoisting some Larry O'Briens. Right? But to me, I'd like to see the Spurs. Can you maybe take some of those guys, consolidate them into a player or two that maybe has longevity contract-wise, right? Where it's funny because most teams kind of want let's get a shorter term deal, right? Let's go make a trade for a shorter term. But I think for the Spurs, because again, De'Aaron Fox is about to get paid, right? The next year after that, Wemby's going to get paid. The next year after that, you have Stephon Castle that's going to get paid, right? Again, in 4 years, this roster is going to be expensive. So if you can get somebody that's on a 4-year deal or are about to get into a 4-year deal that's, $25 million a year or whatever, right? Might be best for you to kind of do that, consolidate that, get a guy. So now you got a more higher end talent. You got a guy that's locked in for a couple years, right? So that way you kind of maintain flexibility. That contract's only going to get better as the salary cap increases each year. 7+%, 7 to 10% every year on year in, right? Those kind of things I think may be in the Spurs' best position. Now, again, that doesn't mean that they have to go do that today. It just means at some point they're probably going to need to do that. But again, they might not have a choice, right? They might not, even if they don't want to do something like that, they might have to do something like that. You might have to turn 2 or 3 of these guys into a higher end guy that's already kind of set into a contract to where it's okay, as we start paying these guys, right, we're going to have less flexibility to sign guys. This guy is going to be even more valuable for us. A guy that I would have loved is a Herb Jones, but he just signed a new extension. Although, when his extension, when he actually becomes trade eligible, do you maybe look to maybe go move for him, right? I don't know if the Pelicans would do that because they just gave him an extension, but again, price talks, money talks, right? You get the right deals, make the, right offer or whatever. It has to make sense for the Spurs, but you get the point. Or like a Trey Murphy locked up for the next 4 years, right? On a very reasonable contract that, he's a guy that has the youth and the upside and the potential. Like, I would be looking for kind of like, you don't want to get a bunch of old guys, but like De'Aaron Fox age, right? Where they're young, they're going to still be young over that contract. Like, by the time their contract's up, they're 30 to 32 years old. And it's like, you can kind of just move on from them after that. Or if they're still really good, maybe sign them to a new contract, just cheaper. You have the bird rights, all that stuff, right? Like, those are the kind of moves that I'd be looking to make. Can you kind of get those, mid to back in 20-year-olds that already are more established, understand, have played a role, know the role, coming in, have already gotten the bag, so they're already a little proven, right? That can come in and have the impact on this roster and on this team to really kind of put you in the best position possible, right? Like, those are the kind of moves that I'd be looking. But again, be patient, right? You don't have to go run to the trade market and be like, okay, well, we're going to give you Vassell and this and that and all these picks and all that. But even like the picks and stuff, they're going to have to figure out and consolidate, right? All of these things, like, the Spurs are going to have to consolidate stuff at some point. They're going to have to, right? Like, you can't keep bringing in 3-4, rookies every year. You can't keep bringing in, once these guys get paid, yeah, that's going to be really good. Because like, that's one of the things that the Thunder benefit on. Right? Their main guys are super expensive, right? They're going to have to end up losing guys that they don't want to lose because they're so expensive, but they have so many picks and assets that they're going to be able to kind of stay in the race. Well, right now, it doesn't make sense for the Spurs because, again, the Spurs already have their guys that need to get to where the Thunder guys are, right? They're not there yet. Thunder guys there are already there, right? So these like current picks and assets and all that stuff, right? The ones that are further on down the road, those ones you wait and hold on to. But the ones that are right now, if you can package that with some of these players and go get a higher end guy or two, right? I'm not even talking about a Giannis or anything like that. Obviously, that'd be great if you could pull something like that up, but it doesn't have to be something like that, right? Just go get can you go get two guys that are under contract for the next few years that you don't have to worry about them budging contract-wise, but actually makes sense. A guy that maybe can slot in as your starting 3 or starting 4 while you're kind of developing Carter Bryant and stuff like that. Because Carter Bryant's probably going to take, 2 or 3 years to develop, right? So now when that guy's ready to go, then he's stepping in and playing that role, right? And just kind of repeat the process in that way, right? Kind of be creative. You're going to have to be creative with this new CBA, right? You're going to have to be creative with this, especially as this team starts getting pricey. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. So enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.